I am the Dusty Dynamo, the Teal who's known to tiptoe around you hoes.
Quick hitters as always.
Whoa. Whoa.
Husky boy season.
Whoa.
Sorry, Mom. I nutted out Party Bus Balls. Facts.
Bitches the young in the wash. It's going down in the garage. Bitches the young in the wash. It's going up like Randy Boss. Josh and David the boss.
And we're back with your girl's favorite podcast. I am the Dusty Dynamo, aka Fat Face Fabio, aka the Husky Hustler. And we are, this is episode 65? 66. Look at me not knowing what I'm doing. We do have the return of the Big Time Marino. I know we pump faked you guys this time. He is here. He will be here. Him and that mustache are staying. That's for damn sure. And with me, as always, we have the Tennessee Kid, aka Young Pizza Bagel, in the building.
I don't know how to react to that.
Josh, you're a pizza bagel. You know that, right?
What is that? Why?
You're half Jewish, half Italian. You're a pizza bagel.
Oh, I'll take that. That's creative.
That's some MC stuff right there.
And then joining us also is requested fan of the show. Thank you, bro, for joining. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to start with quick hitters like always.
Yep.
And we'll start with you requested. What's something that you can't resist?
Something I can't resist? Weed.
Weed? Is it something you've done just for so long you just feel like you're addicted almost?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I just feel like, I'm simple, right? I don't need to do the Molly or anything crazy like that. But if you're in retail, like what I consider my Clark Kent, my day job.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I need. I need that whiskey, and I need that little bit of that little. I don't know. Call it like a skimmer, like a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
Just get the blood pumping a little bit.
I got you.
Yeah.
I respect that.
What about you, Jack in the Box tacos?
No, but they are tacos. Yeah, probably tacos.
I respect that.
Tacos.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever turned down a taco in my life. So probably tacos or Don Julio 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever turned down either one of those before.
What about you?
Damn, the taco one would have been good. I'll say this. This sounds like this is some sad shit. One thing I cannot turn down, and I've learned this working in the occupations. If a woman makes direct eye contact with me, I'm gonna do whatever she just asked me to do. Last night I almost lost my job because some lady asked me to open up the employee bathroom, and she looked me dead ass in my face, and I realized if a woman makes eye contact with me, I'm a bitch. Yeah. There is nothing I will do. I won't do.
Zone out or what?
Bro, she just looked at me. She's like, "Can you open the bathroom?" And I tried to look away, and I was like, and she's like, "No, can you open the bathroom?" And I just looked. She just like direct eye contact, and I was like, I don't know, maybe it's because my mom's 5'2" and just looking down at a female while she's just staring you in the fucking face. But yeah,
I'm gonna say my weakness, bro, is like M&M's, like in a jar at somebody's house. I'll just eat the whole thing, bro.
I'm so mad because I was gonna guess jar candy for you.
For sure, big jar candy guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I want to see what you say on this. How many shot glasses should each household have?
Depends on the occupancy and the festiveness of said occupancy.
All right.
Your house,
middle-aged
zero.
couple. Middle-aged couple.
Middle-aged couple.
Yeah. How many shot glasses?
Had they lived in this city for more than 10 years?
Yes.
Okay. 6.
6. That's what I said. I said 6.
Yeah. Because I feel like, one, you need 2 in case 2 break. And then you need another set in case there's another couple that decides to come over and you pregame there. Or maybe, you little 3 couple in, someone brings their, you try to hook up your single friend with somebody. So I think 6 is the appropriate number.
What do you say? You agree with that?
6 to 8.
6 to 8?
Yeah, I think me and my lady, we're heavy on the shot glasses. Got to have more than the 2. Got to be able to entertain. She definitely is very hospitable. So I'm gonna go more like 8 to 10.
Okay, let's say you go to a bar. What shot are you taking? What kind of alcohol?
I'm a big whiskey guy, but you don't really do whiskey shots so much. So I would probably do a shot. Honestly, if I'm with somebody, I'll be like, I'll have what he or she's having.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm doing like whiskey in a glass, almost like the emoji.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I respect that.
You're a big tequila shot guy.
Yeah.
Only, right? Strictly?
Shots, yeah.
Yeah.
When's the last time you drank brown?
When we were in that?
Probably I had, what's that shit we had?
The Jaeger bombs?
Jaeger bomb.
Yeah.
Which are
September.
trash. Which
Horrible.
I can't.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It was a Raider fan that gave it to us.
Got
so
you.
There you go.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
All right. How many hours a day do you spend on your phone?
Man, I'm gonna say mind you, again.
Your job.
Yeah, I retire. I'm in telecom. I'm not gonna name drop that company because they're not sponsoring me, at least at this point. So when we get to that point, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of. What's your average?
Bro, I get that thing on Sundays where it says how many hours you spend, and it's like 7.5, which is way too many. Yeah. For me, at least.
Shoot, I'm probably double digits, bro.
Yeah, but your job, though, too. At the same, you have to.
Yeah.
Do you think it's too much, how much you spend time on your phone, or no?
Sometimes I do feel bad, but then I realize we don't watch cable, we don't watch TV. So, like, we're always on
Everything's
our phone.
on your phone at all times.
So then it kind of helps. But I'm probably up there like 12-ish plus, bro.
Okay.
Easy.
Got you. What about you, Zoe?
Yeah, I'm probably the same.
Well, you're a long-form YouTube guy.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, if you take away, because if I connect my TV or my YouTube to my TV, or whatever, like I play it off that
counts.
Yeah, it counts, which I hate it because it makes it look like I watch the Pat McAfee show. It's 4 hours every day. It's just on in the background while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, but it counts. But like, I'm gonna be honest, I texted you like 2 days ago and I was like, this is the most I've ever been on my phone. I felt disgusted. Like,
you got that neck pain, huh, bro?
Bro, the neck pain, I felt like, remember when Matt Bonner said he messed up his hand because the iPhone got bigger? My left hand cramped the other day while holding my phone, and I was like, this is the most washed shit ever. And I knew, because like the way my hand cramped, like I went to go grab something, and the way like when I picked it up, it cramped and went like that, and I'm like, this is exactly how I hold my phone. Yeah. Like 110%. And I was like, but I got it. I'd be lying if I don't think that this week, like tomorrow when I get the update, it's probably going to say 14. Just because, I mean, we've been doing
a lot of stuff this week.
We've been doing a lot of stuff this week. Yeah, you know.
What about you?
On average, probably 9.5. I feel like the last 2 weeks, though, it's probably 6 because I got that TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so probably 6.
My man finally got a TV upgraded.
Nice.
Smart
21st century.
TV, yeah, smart TV.
I'm talking about, do they sell non-smart TVs anymore?
Ooh, my man would probably know over here. Do they?
I'm going to say no, just because of the fact that everything has gone to apps and streaming, so probably not.
Like, if like in my head, I'm like, if it has an HDMI cord at this point, it's probably the smart. Unless you have like one of the little ones you get like little kids and stuff like that. Like they sell like those nostalgic ones that kind of like the little portable back ones. Like my niece has one, but outside that, I'm like 99% of TVs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, TVs cost like $100, and like
so
everything
now.
Streams now.
All right, Andre, I want to start with you on this one, and I know you guys are gonna have some good answers. What's the best and worst part about being from San Diego?
The best part I feel like is like the culture and food, because like, you know, we're right next to Mexico, especially being Mexican. You got all the good Mexican food, and then you have like a variety of like Filipino food. You have like Italian, all that kind of stuff. The worst part, fuck.
My man has so many pet peeves. I know you're thinking of things.
I mean, hey, you know what's funny? Andre wants to. The same thing that Andre just said is the same thing that he probably thinks is the worst part of San Diego.
100%. He's going to say they're driving from all the different cultures.
Yeah, exactly. Andre's going to be like, all the Filipino food, all the Mexican food, all the things. Also, all these people are here. No, I'm joking. But like,
I don't know. Honestly, there's too many to pick just one. I feel like maybe the nightlife now. It's just shit.
I mean, but like, how many cities have good nightlife anymore? Like, I don't feel like too many.
I feel like there's a lot that are up and coming.
Yeah, but I feel like we were there first. Like most of the cities that were like how like San Diego in 2015, most of the cities that were cracking then, unless you're like New York or LA, they're on the downward like decline for real. Like it's hard to maintain a nightlife. Like Nashville, like Broadway wasn't Broadway in 2015. It was on its come up.
I think the difference between San Diego and like Nashville, for example, is people flex more when they go out in San Diego. Like everybody's trying to be that guy. In Nashville, people are just on like a chilling ass vibe.
To Andre's point, like machismo runs through every culture in San Diego. Like it doesn't matter what it is, like black, white, brown. Like the machismo comes out. I told you I went to a party last week and I saw a nigga in a perm and a fake Versace shirt, and we were in the house. That shit don't make no sense.
I got mine. Fifth Avenue to the Gaslamp.
Oh, well, you already know how I feel about Barley Mash. Great brunch, but I hate that place.
El Chingon, you get
a story there.
El Chingon is South Bay. It's just South Bay.
Backyard might be the worst.
So hold
thing
on,
about San
wait.
Diego.
El Chingon represents the South Bay?
El Chingon is just El Chingon is East 8th Street and down.
Nice, okay.
Yeah, like
National City,
okay.
Barrio Logan.
Yeah, all that down, but the problem is it's no bigger than this like
you guys do
garage.
Canyon Club?
I used to rock with Canyon Club.
Right here on Telegraph?
Is
I
that
used to rock.
I've been in there
was
once.
that banged out? I feel like that's kind of like the gangster spot.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd like it. I've been there when someone's gotten stabbed before.
Yeah, see?
But but also like the older I get, the more I realize like anytime there's alcohol, like anything can happen. Like I'm not always blaming an establishment because also like that's a place where if you're acting up, the OGs who have been there that long, they will handle that. They're not going to look for security. Yeah. And I appreciate that more than like, because security can have kind of an ego trip. Like the OGs will they'll walk by you and be like, hey, you need to calm down. And then you like, when you see some old Mexican dude with like a thick ass mustache tell you that, you calm your ass down. Yeah. You know, he went through shit in 73.
Yeah. I want to hear your answer because you've been in San Diego longer than us. You're older, but you went to Castle Park.
Yeah.
So you've been in this area for a long time. Yeah. What's your thoughts about like the development of like Chula Vista downtown, the way it used to be to now?
It's funny you say that because like my job's been taking me over to the South Bay a lot more. So it's kind of like a blast from the past, and to see all these neighborhoods grow, it's dope, man. Like it's crazy because we talked about it off air, right? I think people don't realize Chula Vista is one of the largest parts of San Diego and one of the most diverse. If you're not from here, you don't know that. You just think, oh, it's primarily Hispanic, right? Because of the proximity to Mexico. But it's not just. Everybody's out here for the most part.
I mean, look at this garage right now. It's this is Eastlake in a nutshell. I was telling you before that the best thing about going to the high school I went to was it was like 25%, 25%. Yeah. A lot of Mexicans, a lot of Filipinos, but there's a lot of whites and blacks and everything else. It was
Everybody's
the best part
out here.
about growing up here.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So we're gonna start with you on this one. What's your most embarrassing moment?
We just did this last week.
I want to share mine then.
Can I answer the last question?
Yeah.
I hate everyone's mindset that San Diego is your fault for failing at what you need to get done.
Explain.
I hate when I look on Twitter and people are like, and I understand this, you need to leave the city to grow. Josh is a much more like put together person, more mature. Like sometimes you got to run an ISO on yourself and leave your city to get your shit together, and like not like you didn't have your shit together, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's like sometimes you need to separate yourself. It's like, you ever heard the term like prison saves some people's lives? Like, you know, go sit down for a little bit and you're gonna prioritize things. I just hate the fact that people blame the city. Like that's a you problem. Like if you don't have the motivation to go do it, it has nothing to do with your location. And I feel like there's a lot of people who blame San Diego for that, where I'm like, no, bro, there's tons of pockets. You don't have to go out. You don't have to do this. And I feel like it's a very common narrative in this city. And maybe that's in other cities, but I've only really lived here in my life, that like a lot of people just blame San Diego. And I'm like, you're somewhere that like, you can get so much. There's so much free game in San Diego. There are a lot of cultures. There's an international airport that is a big fucking deal. You can get places. You can go do things. You can come back down to the turf. You're right next to LA. There's networking. There's everything. Don't get me wrong. People try to big their head up a little bit to prove that we are better than LA, when sometimes it's not necessarily the vibe, or like it's a unnecessary emotion, I feel like, to just try to big up, or like to try to one up each other just because we're all trying to prove that we're better than LA, instead of kind of like, you know, teaming up a little bit. But I just feel like there's just a big nasty narrative, like especially because I've been thinking about moving out of the city, but that's for my own personal reasons. And I feel like I've just seen a lot of people of our age group, like from the 26 to 31, 32, they're just like, oh, San Diego has nothing to offer. I'm like, no, bro.
That's on you.
Yeah, because guess what? Excuse my language, a lot of niggas came down from San Jose, went to San Diego State, and they're still here doing what they need to get done. But you want to leave the city and talk about it. And I know it's the San Jose people, they don't talk about they don't talk about the Zay like that. They just come down. We just so, you said it one time before, it's like small city minded. Like people act like we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma sometimes. And I'm like, bro, why are you acting like you where are you getting this from?
You have so much at your fingertips compared to other cities.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, things are accessible here that you can't like one of my favorite things to say is like, if you're racist in San Diego, you're racist as fuck. Because there are so many examples of the opposite of the stereotypes, and we all have fun with stereotypes. That's one of the beauties of being like diverse, and like when you're actually immersed in other people's cultures, you can get away with saying some shit you probably shouldn't get away with saying. You know what I mean? When you get comfortable. But yeah, I just feel like when you feel a certain way or you treat the city a certain way, it's just like you just didn't take full advantage of it. It's like when people complain about their job and be like, oh, the healthcare shit. Well, it's like, bro, you didn't even sign up for dental. What are we talking about? What's your most embarrassing moment? Hey, by the way, this is like 4 weeks of Josh dropping embarrassing moments.
Yeah, this is for the real. But actually, next segment, we're going embarrassing moment. I want to talk about your music first, because I know we're on a time crunch, and I want to get into this. Yeah. So explain to me how you got into music. What made you start doing music?
All right, well, you know, without exactly kind of aging myself, it's just I grew up with it. So I saw, you know, when MTV used to show videos, I saw like the whole like rock turn hip hop thing. Like I literally saw everybody. I had older peers and stuff that already they were listening to like Ice-T, Public Enemy. So that was like my first like introduction to it. But then once I got old enough to like it myself, it motivated me to want to do it.
Okay.
So I literally, I've seen it grow in its infant stages. It's only like, hip hop's only like 40 some years old, so to be able to grow with it, I think that's what did it for me. I just immediately fell in love and wanted to make music. My buddy, rest in peace. I definitely carried the torch for him because, just like your bro, rest in peace. That's our motivation. It's like a stripe. You rock it. You're like, I'm dedicated to hitting that pylon. I don't care how long it takes. I'm hitting the pylon. That's it. So that's like my mindset right now with my music. It's like I've gone through the ups and downs. I have an ex-wife. I have a child. So it's like, he hit on a ton of great things, but it's an addiction. I can't stop because we're LA washed. Like my boy RT, DJ RT, shout out to him. We are LA washed, so we get a little intimidated. That's the whole Charger thing is mixed into that. So. San Diego, we have Nick Cannon, we have Mario Lopez, Mitchie Slick, but we're not real big on that scale. So I'm addicted to being one of hopefully 10 eventual San Diego prominent people, artists, whatever.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think San Diego hasn't had that many entertainers come out of the city?
Because I think, like my buddy said, the LA wash thing, I think that we have such an issue with LA shit. I do too. Like, it's weird. It's like you're kind of born into it. You're like, like the SD. Like I wear my flag everywhere. It's not about banging as much as just like, bro, this is my Padre fitted. Like we've been chumps for so long. It's like you feel like that extra need to get on. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help though when you lose the Clippers, when you lose the Chargers, and you don't have a lot of other artists. So then it turns into a crabs in a bucket thing. Mm-hmm. Can't tell you how many times I rap and immediately half of it's like, oh, you're dope, but man, my homeboy raps, and then you want to hear it, and I'll be nice, I'll be a good sport, and I'm like, that shit sounds terrible, but I'll listen to it. But that's what you get in LA. It's just oversaturated. In San Diego, there's a lot of people, but there's no game plan. Compare it to our teams, with the exception of the Padres' recent success and the Aztecs basketball team and football team. There's no blueprint. So who do you follow? Yeah. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, I feel like San Diego doesn't have a unique sound like certain cities. Like DC has go-go, LA has like that kind of bop to it, Detroit has the kind of offbeat, New York has like, they have the slang and it's hard. Right. But yeah, I don't feel like SD necessarily has a true sound to its hip hop. At least it has a sound to other parts of the music. Frankie J was a banger, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I feel you 100% on that. Yeah. And
there's also I'm sorry.
No, go.
Oh, there's also like a huge. Let me not downplay the underground. The San Diego underground's been big for like 20 some years. I'm from like the original like backpack era. And I see like almost like a resurgence, like it's come back. I think guys like Nas and excuse me, Mount Westmore, like all these like OGs coming back. I look directly at 2020 because when we were in the pandemic, we got way more creative. You saw Fat Joe; he started doing the big show, and he had like his Pep. Then I guess he must have drank a Pepsi. Then Wild Cherry Pepsi's like, "Yo, we're gonna sponsor you," and it's just like. I think since 2020, the focus has gone back to the music. Mm-hmm. So we're not stuck with just little so-and-so all the time. Bars are back, Yeah. Good for me. That's what I cut my teeth on, bars.
Yeah. And I feel you because I feel like they used to say like hip hop's a young man's game, but I feel like it's because we just never saw anyone get old yet. Right. Like you said, hip hop is only 40 years old. Right. So like when you look at like the Jay-Z's, the Fat Joe's, and Oz's, it's like, oh, they're old, but it's like, no, they're just the first. Right. So it seems like it's dating faster than what it's actually doing. Right. Because unfortunately, like in hip hop, like, bro, the Stones ain't put out an album in 30 years, or like the Rolling Stones, and they can go solid anywhere. Journey can go out solid anywhere. They ain't putting out new shit. And if they are, ain't nobody listening to that shit. Mm-hmm. Hip hop's the only one because I feel like they treat it more like a sport. Right. You got to perform every year. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
What have you done for me lately kind of thing?
Yeah. And it's I don't know if it's just a competitive or like an animosity thing that's within the music, but it is kind of a factor, I feel like, in how it's perceived and received.
It's kind of all of the above. Yeah. So did you guys see when 21 Savage said that Nas was irrelevant?
Yeah, I did see that.
That was clickbait.
Did you see what Nas did? I don't know, maybe it was all scripted. Did you see what he did?
Yeah, they did the song.
Right, so instead of getting mad, he was like, yo, let's talk about it. And then he made a joint, and then he proceeded to run circles around 21 Savage. I'm like, bro, you should have never did that record.
But also, let's tell you here. Yeah. 21 Savage is my favorite non-lyrical rapper. Like he says real, right? He says real shit, but it's not necessarily bars.
Got it.
But like it's very like the maturity in his music is shown. But like Nas beating 21 Savage isn't like, I'm not looking to 21 Savage to dust up Nas. Like, don't be wrong, like I believe like a lot the J. Cole record with 21 Savage's verse is just as important. J. Cole's is more impressive because it's lyrical miracle, but like what like in like regards to 21, like he is speaking to a different demographic than J. Cole. So that shit hits to them the same. Yeah. Nas and 21 Savage are not talking to the same people. Nah. Because to your point, 21 Savage is talking to the littles. Like, Nas is talking to people with 401ks, you know, like HMO is. Like,
yeah, for sure.
All right, we'll end it with this, bro, because I want to talk a little bit about your music more. Right. What direction are you taking your music, and like, what's the next step for you?
So for me, being one of these West Coast artists that come from the underground, I feel like in hip hop, we kind of messed up already. We kind of segregated it, right? So you have like top 40 aspirations guy, and you have backpack dude. I like to say that I'm a tweener. And I learned that from my favorite artist, from Nas, because he can be respected in both arenas. That's what you want. So that's what I pattern.
Like an all-around player, basically.
Right, yeah. I want the underground people to be like, he's dope, but I also want the youngsters to be like, yo, that old head is pretty dope. Like, I'll fuck with him. Like, he's pretty sick. And I think without trying, I've been able to accomplish it because you go even further, right? You go to my kid's age. She's 13. So if my kid doesn't think I'm trash, or these kids, I'm doing something right. Because they're just going to tell you, that's old. I don't like that.
Yeah. And on this episode of Couples Counseling with Dunzo and Dre, we have Henry and Big Steph. Big Steffa.
So we're gonna go embarrassing moment. So I'm gonna take you guys back to the summer of 2004. Okay. a
spry 11-year-old Josh.
All right. So paint the picture for you. I'm at Target with my dad and my brother, and I'm 10 years old. Okay. And I gotta go to the bathroom super bad, bro.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I gotta really go. And I'm like, I'm gonna make it. So I'm like waddling over, like trying to get there. My dad's like, I'm gonna go to the electronics. I'm like, all right, see. I go, dude. Right when I walk in the bathroom of Target, I literally just shit myself. Like wearing basketball shorts, down the legs, shit myself. Like bad, bro. Like it's everywhere, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, how do I clean this up? Like, what do I do? I'm in Target, you know? So I get my underwear and I wipe my legs. Now I got shit on my legs.
It looks like a mud bath.
It looks bad, bro. As I clean it up and then I just throw the underwear away, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go to the electronics section, get my dad, tell him like, we got to go. And then like, hopefully he doesn't notice. I'm like, okay, let's go. So I'm like walking to the electronics, and the first thing, 5 feet out of the bathroom, the first thing I hear is, Joshua. I'm like, fuck. I look behind me. It's my best friend's mom. She's like, give me a hug. I'm like, no. And I'm like, I can't say no though, right? So I go over there, I give her a hug, and I walk away, and I know she's like, he smells like shit. Like, this kid literally smells like shit. I'm so embarrassed. So then I find my dad, and I'm like, you know what? The worst thing already happened. I'm just going to let this one ride out, see if he doesn't even notice. So then I just walk like 10 feet away from him in the electronics, get to the car.
Are you wearing shorts?
Oh, basketball shorts, yeah.
They're not white, are they?
No, they're like black. But whatever. So I get to the car, and it's like hot because it's the summer. I sit in the passenger seat, and he starts the car, and he's like, dude, did you shit yourself? And I'm like, I did. He's like, did anybody see you? I'm like, so-and-so's mom like gave me a hug. He's like, God damn it. You notice a kid that smells like a butthole. I'm like, I know. And that's my most embarrassing moment.
It's a good one.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's good. That makes me feel a little bit better about myself as a person. I once low key half pissed myself at Cheesecake when I worked there because I couldn't get my apron off, but my shift was done, and I just had to thug that one out. I'll never forget. My apron got stuck. It was over my belt, and I was like, I just fat fingers, small knots, not a good combination. Oh God, I feel for you on like on a spiritual level.
Thank you, bro.
I feel like we've all kind of shit ourselves like that though.
Okay, no, time out. Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, as a little kid, yeah,
everybody has.
Oh, right? I'll tell mine right now.
Yeah, go for it.
So in first grade, we went to the Museum of Man. You guys have been there, right? I think it's called the Museum of Them now or something, but it's like in Balboa Park. No, it's literally they changed the name. So we're like on the bus, and I'm like sitting like towards the front, and I'm like telling my homie, I'm like, I'm like, dude, I like have to go to the bathroom like really bad. Like really bad. He's like, well, we're almost at school. Like, you can wait. I was like, I don't think I can wait. And I told the teacher, I was like, Miss Arujo, like, I gotta go. And she's like, Andre, we're almost at the school. Wait. I was like, I can't wait. She's like, just sit down and don't think about it. So obviously I sit down and I'm like, you know, I'm what are you, 6 years old in the first grade? I'm like, that's all I'm doing is thinking about like, I'm literally about to shit myself right now. And like I went to Thurgood Marshall, so like we're like going up the hill kind of by like where the 125 is. Yeah. Because there was no 125 at that time, and I just like, and the guy sitting next to me was like, "Did you fart?" I was like, "No, I pooped." So I got to school, bro, and I went in the bathroom, and I like pulled my pants down, and I'm like sitting, and I just see a big pile of shit, like in my underwear, and I go to Miss Arujo. I was like, "I went to the bathroom." She's like, oh, yeah, I know you went to the bathroom. And I was like, I went in my pants, like, to the bathroom. So she's like, all right, come with me, like, takes to the office to call my mom, and my mom comes get me, and it's just like, I was literally full of shit. Yeah. Like, literally full of shit.
So your mom took you home?
Yeah, I mean, I live right down the hill, so
that's
took
clutch,
me home,
though.
And like, no, but the school day was already over. Like, we already were, like, going home.
Did people in your class know you shit yourself?
No, just the guy next to me, thank God, because I feel like he was like pretty low key about it.
Okay, I got to tell one more story, dude, because we're on this.
I got one for this.
All right, so when I was in Little League,
Are we really about to spend 10 minutes on shit stories right now? This is what we're doing. Okay, this is what makes sure.
So when I was in Little League, I was about to play in a game, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. And you can't go during the game because you're like in the game. You can't be like, this guy's taking a shit. So you have to go before the game, obviously. So I go in the porta potty at East Lake Little League. And I like felt great, walk out. And this girl that was like the best looking girl in the whole elementary school standing right outside the porta potty. She's like, do you just take a shit? And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And she's like, you're fuchi. And I didn't speak Spanish. And I'm like, whatever. And I go to class. And then she starts telling everybody in our class that I'm fuchi. And I'm like, find out what it means. I'm like just mortified. I'm like,
who was this? We can beep the name. I need to know who this was. We'll beep the name.
Yeah.
I knew it. I swear to God, I was gonna guess it. When you said Fuchi, I was like, don't talk like this. We gotta beat that too.
Yeah, but she was in the class, and I was like, that was the last person I wanted to see me, and it was horrible.
Bro, one time I swear to God, it's the last shit story. I did think of an embarrassing story though that wasn't shit related, but I was like maybe in the second or third grade. And I remember for the longest time I thought I was allergic to chocolate because I'd eat like the little muffins at school. And my stomach would fucking hurt for the longest. Come to find out, it was the milk that I would eat with the chocolate. I'm lactose intolerant. I had no clue. But that morning, I remember I had that, and I had like a little bowl of the Fruity Pebbles. You know what I mean? The little cup one that they give you, in the morning.
Yeah.
And the stomach bug had been going around. Like, I definitely remember, like, my class, like, there was like 12 kids missing this day. Like, I remember this specifically. I was like, ain't nobody in this bitch. We watched the movie for like a week straight. Ain't nobody in class. And I was at Dash after school program. Shout out to Dash.
I went to that too.
Yeah, Dash was fire. Shout out to Coach Tony. Shout out to Coach Leslie. I remember them to this day. And my school had 2 playgrounds, big pimping. And I was walking down from the upper playground to go to the bottom playground. And I remember my boy made me laugh. And bro, I went to go, and I was like, oh, I just farted. And I went in the bathroom. And I looked down, and I have never ate Fruity Pebbles ever again because they look the same way going out. And I remember being like, I remember I took my drawers off, and I had like, I took my drawers off and I cleansed my butt cheeks because we were uniforms. I'm like, if I get this shit in my uniform, I'm also gonna be pissed. So I took my drawers off. This is how stupid I am. I took my drawers off in the stall. I walked to the trash can in the bathroom, the Winnie the Pooh in it. And then I went back to get my pants because I had to go wipe with the paper towels. I need industrial paper towels for this wipe. I only got that, wipe my ass, but luckily no one was in there. But yeah, that was a battle because I literally laughed, and that's when I found out when your stomach's weak. But I do have one embarrassing story, and I promise you we'll get to real topics. You start blanking shit out of your mind when you get older. I had a summer, and I could call my mom right now. I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club off Oleander. I had a summer where almost every other day I lost something at summer camp. And when I mean every other day, I'm talking lunch boxes, jackets, swim trunks, lunches, glasses. Every day I lost something. And it came to a combination. We went to, I think it's Ski Beach or whatever that little side when you're going to PB and you're on the PCH or whatever the hell. And it's that little side thing. It's got the little kids park. Yeah. And I remember the song Air Force One had just come out. And I wore a man's shoe. and I was salty because Miles, shout out to Get Right Boxing, got Air Force Ones, and I couldn't get them because I wore like a fucking 9 at 9 years old, and they were like $100, and my mom was like, "You're not getting $100 shoes to play in." So, being a real South Bay nigga, I got Cortezes, and I thought, and be smart, I put my Cortezes under, like we were playing in the sand, and I put my Cortezes under one of those little donkey thingies that you go like back and forth on. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to fuck up my Cortezes. You know what I mean? These are important. I go back 20 minutes later. My Cortezes are gone.
No.
My socks are in my shoes because we're in the sand. We're the only people here. Someone moved them and stole them. I had to get back on the bus to the Boys and Girls Club, barefoot, looking like a transported fucking slave, bro. Just ashy ass feet, bro. My mom, bro, the ass whooping that Yoli gave me, bro, was catastrophic. Like, and it was so bad, like, she didn't even say anything. Like, I had to call her on the phone, and she's looking at me, and I'm just, like I could feel her looking at me while I was on the phone. And it was one of the worst experiences of my whole life. And I've bought like 19 pair of Cortezes since then because bro, it really, like, I literally blanked this out till you started talking about embarrassing moments. But I just remember, like, literally, like, I want to go play basketball, I want to go play pool, and they made me sit in the front of the Boys and Girls Club because I had no fucking shoes. And like, and my mom, like, keep on, we got back at like 2. My mom's not gave me till like 6. Oh. So I'm just sitting there just ashy.
Okay, I'm really bad at storytelling, so
it's all good. It'll probably make it funnier, to be honest.
Okay, good. So let's start off here. This day was the worst day, most traumatizing day for me. But I was at school and I had to sneeze. Like, I really had to sneeze, and I was going, and I'm the worst sneezer. Like, it sounds like I'm out of breath or like I can't breathe. I'm like,
you're an asthma attack?
Do that. Yeah, it's something. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so I'm about to sneeze, and then everyone's like getting ready to say bless you, and instead a fart comes out. So that was like the beginning of my day.
How old are you?
I was in 4th grade.
Oh, so
2 weeks ago.
Two weeks ago. And then everyone just busts up, starts laughing. Later on that day, I have to pee so bad. And I'm at a Catholic school. Like, this is a private Catholic school. So every time we leave, like, to go to lunch, we have to pray. And so we stand up, or no, I go up to the teacher and I'm like, hey, I really have to go to the bathroom. She's like, you can wait 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I really have to go. Like, you have no idea. And so she's like, no, like, you're going to wait. And I'm like, okay. So we stand up for prayer, like, right before we go to lunch, and everyone's really quiet and praying. And all of a sudden you hear, tss, and I peed. I peed myself. I couldn't hold it anymore. Embarrassed myself in front of the whole classroom again. And my mom came, ripped the teacher a new one. And after that, like, I could go to the bathroom anytime I wanted to. So,
which you should be able to do in the first place.
I know, that was so mean.
Telling a kid they can't go to the bathroom is evil.
Yeah.
Like, in sports, if a coach says you can't drink water and then you, like, pass out, like, you're fired.
Bro, you're saying that. I got like 2 R. Kelly jokes right now about this. Like, one, she hit the remix because Ignition's fire. The fart was fire. So she hit the remix to Ignition with the piss down the leg, and also she peed. So there's just 2 R. Kelly jokes right there. Those are gonna be our 2 R. Kelly jokes for the whole year. That'll be the last 2.
Were you like doing something important? Were you like in the middle of prayer or something? Like, why did she not let you go? Do you remember?
Because we were just about to get let out to go to lunch. So she's like, you can wait. I'm like, I can't wait. I have to go. And yeah.
That's crazy.
Peeing while praying is crazy.
Hold on. If your kid did that, you'd freak out on the teacher.
Oh, I've seen that.
I'd lose my mind.
You know what's funny? The whole time she was telling the story, I was like, I hope her mom goes off, because I've seen this like when I worked at the Y. It's happened a couple of times where kids, like, because the counselor wouldn't let them go. The Y's a little bit different because you're kind of corralling. It's not like they're in like a set area. But I've been in a class, I want to say like maybe like my 3rd or 4th grade class. Same thing happened. Some kid peed, and his mom, like, when she went to go drop off the clothes, she cussed out the teacher in front of all of us. So, like, I was like, I kind of hope this, like, when you said, like, oh, yeah, like, it makes kids, like, that's weird. Like, I pressed my 5th grade teacher. I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. You can call my mom. Like, I remember having after I fucking shit the Fruity Pebbles, like, that wasn't going to happen again. Like, I made a point.
Wait,
like,
can we go back to that? When you shit yourself, was it rainbow shit?
Yes, that's what I said. I've never had Fruity.
I've never seen that.
I've never, bro, like, okay, this is funny. I didn't finish the rest of the story. Oh, I got, like, there was more to it. Like I said, the stomach bug was going around. One, I've never had Fruity Pebbles. That was the first time and the only time I ever had Fruity Pebbles in my whole fucking life. I swear to God. I haven't had Cocoa Crisp, anything that looks like the little shards, never had that again. But my stomach was fucked up. So my dad was on deployment when this happened. And I think Miles ends up getting sick too, but like the stomach bug was like going around. Like when I was younger, I used to get sick pretty often, and I was throwing up and shitting in my room. Like I had like 2 paint buckets. Like my mom literally had to put me on like a double paint bucket because like I would get off the bathroom and I'm pretty sure I kind of shit myself walking back to my room in the hallway. Like my stomach was fucked up. Like it was like I had to go to the doctor for this. Like they thought it was more than a stomach bug. Like my mom was positive I had like a real situation, but no dead ass. Like I'm drinking like chicken noodle soup and I'm literally playing
right out,
bro. This is funny. I vividly remember this. I chicken noodle soup and I'm sitting on like kind of like the top of like a baseball bucket for the balls. Like we had like one of those. So I would sit on that and then try to make it to the bathroom. If I didn't, I took the lid off and then I felt bad for my mom. She'd like she would have to come get the bucket, like his shit was going wild in the bedroom. You know what I mean? And fucking like, have you ever seen the video? Have you ever seen?
Hold on a second. Let's stop this story. You had a baseball bucket in your bedroom.
No, just a lid for the baseball bucket. But it was a paint bucket. But have you ever seen like the South Park when Cartman's playing WoW and his mom just comes downstairs with the bedpan?
Yes.
So
oh my God.
I vividly remember. This is so funny. Playing NBA Street 1 with Little Bow Wows. I think it's the Wanted album playing in the background. And just throwing up and shitting at the same exact time. Like I remember getting like I shouldn't throw up so much I was dehydrated. Like which is why I think I had to go to the doctor at that point. But like I didn't know you could do both of those simultaneously.
It's the worst feeling of all time.
Oh, bro, like it felt like my stomach was origamiing itself. Like I was in so much pain. I was out of breath. Like I was just like a chubbier little kid at this point. I might have dropped, and this is wild for a child, I might have dropped like 13 pounds in like 4 days. Wow. For like a little kid is fucking like,
wild.
That's not healthy. Like my mom was like, I'm pretty sure when they took me to the doctor, they had to call CPS to make sure my mom just wasn't fucking starving me, bro. No, I'm joking. But still like.
Just show them the paint buckets. This is
bro,
where it's all going.
Like, yeah. It was yeah, bro, my man. Yeah, it was a rough one. But let's get to some other shitty situations.
Yeah.
So did we all watch the Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix?
I know the story though.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I'm like, I don't need to watch a story about a serial killer just isolating gay black men in Milwaukee. I can tell you how this one ends. But I want to know what you guys think. So the actor, I got a couple of Golden Globe things. The actor who played Dahmer in it received a Golden Globe, I think, for best actor in a drama or something like that. One of the victims' moms came out and said that this is a very terrifying day for like society or something along those lines. Like this is a bad thing. And I was kind of curious how you guys feel about it because I do think I see her point to a certain degree.
Do you have a thought on that?
I think it's hard to watch as a mom, but I don't know. It's kind of shedding light too, in a way.
And I feel like it's kind of like, 110%. But I feel like, we talk about like riding that thin line between like what's love, what's hate, what's support, what's, animosity and things like that. And I feel like it kind of does lean towards that. It's like, it's all about your perspective of it. Cause like some people can be like, oh, it's shedding light. And other people are like, you're giving these next generation of fucking weirdos like something to look up to now.
It's like when somebody does a mass shooting and then they publicize the picture and that's how the next person does it because they want to be that one person that gets publicized. It's also super painful for the families. Like people don't think about that at the same time.
And you don't have to clear any of that shit. Like that's one thing.
It's crazy, bro.
It is, but it's like, to your point last week, if it's a fact, do we have to sugarcoat it? Because a lot of these are factual things. Like, because I feel like when you ride that line, like then you can't do newspaper articles. You know what I mean? Because like, granted, it's a movie and it's a lot more intimate in that saying like you can see it and feel it. But like in the 1900s, you just read things. Like, is that wrong? You know what I mean? Because you're just putting the facts out there.
So I haven't seen the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, but the people that are portrayed in the show are the exact names of the people that were murdered.
Yeah,
that's fucked, bro. I'm sorry. Like, those are people's families. At least change the names or something. That's too real for the people who are involved.
I think the big problem with like shows like this is that you're glorifying like a psychopath killer
100%.
that like ruined the lives of so many people, and they're just getting praised by like giving this guy. I mean, it's not the actor's fault that he won a Golden Globe. He did a good job.
Yeah,
but
like he should take pride in what he did.
Yeah,
for the record.
But at the same time, it's like, people got to look at the bigger picture. Like this affected so many people. So that's one of the reasons I didn't watch the show, because I'm not trying to like
it's real
glorify a fucking killer, and I'm not really into shit like that's weird. So I get where the mom is coming from, but at the same time, it's like we can't really blame the actor for getting an award.
And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but to shoot Dahmer some bail. Never thought I would say that sentence before in my life. Society made him a celebrity. Like I've read a lot into it. I didn't watch the documentary, but I did read a lot into it. He was low key when he was in prison. He wasn't I got away with doing this, or I did this type. Like, you know what I mean? You know, some guys, like, they take it like a sense of pride. Like, yeah, I murdered like 30,000 people. No, his story got out, and they started treating him like a celebrity in prison, and he wasn't really with it. And then the women started coming. This a whole. Also, we got to talk about.
I had this conversation with my dad yesterday about this.
Go. It's just, I think we got to, like, we as a society have to understand that sometimes we create the villain. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer is a sick bastard. You know what I mean? But he didn't look for praise. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer is a sick person, like mentally ill. Like, he had a problem, and he's a horrible person, with or without the mental illness. But he didn't look for that glory until we gave it to him. When the stories came out, he didn't have it. It's when we, like, people fetishized him. Like, and that's the craziest part is, like, what happened in American society? Like, when did this happen that anything broken we clung to? Because I feel like that's a big thing. Is like I used to think it was a gun thing, but I don't think America has a gun problem like that. I think America has a killing people problem. Anytime, like, I'm part of the problem too. I love Dexter, one of my fucking favorite shows of all time. This shit is amazing written, but it's like my dad comes downstairs and he's like, "There's a baby in a pool of blood. What are you watching?" And I'm like, valid point. You just walk in the room. This looks fucking crazy. Yeah. And I just feel like there's a lot. We're just such a broken society.
I think it comes back to what you said about being relatable. People want to cling on to things that make them feel better about themselves. Like, dude, Jeffrey Dahmer is so messed up. It makes me feel better as a human being.
But he's sexualized. Like, all these guys, like,
there's a whole fetish thing that goes with that.
Steph, we're gonna ask you a question because you're the only female here. Are you into, like, drama pods or any of that, or like the crime series? Is that your shit?
Very much
okay, so all right, I'm gonna ask you a question. You're not speaking for all women, but I'm sure you have other crazy friends that's like, because women listen to these like book clubs now, and they just be in their group chats going crazy. Popular. Yeah. Why do women sexualize these killers? Because men don't sexualize female killers like that.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Do you think? All right.
I have no comment.
Do you think that, like, is there a certain type of female? Because I can't pinpoint this certain type of female.
Actually, okay. Something brought to mind. What's that football player that
Aaron
like
Hernandez.
killed? Yeah, him. He was sexualized a lot. I don't know why.
He's a good-looking dude, though.
He's good-looking. Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe fame too. Maybe fame.
That's valid. I didn't even think about that part of it. But it's like,
that's like being like the bad boy thing. Like, that dude's like, he's, you know what I mean? Girls are into that.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer was eating.
Well, dude, Jeffrey Dahmer, like, there's worse than him. Like Richard Ramirez.
Dude, that's what I was about to say. The Night Stalker or whatever.
Night Stalker
that guy was a psychopath.
Yeah, that dude had groupies on groupies on groupies. Yeah, and he was an absolute psycho.
Yeah, crazy.
I really want to go. I want to interview, like, you know, these have like Love Locked Up or whatever, like the show where, like, I want to interview men that start relationships with women when women are in jail, because I got to see the reverse mental of that. Because we see a lot of women like seeking attention from inmates. No, that nigga can't cheat on you because he ain't going nowhere.
Like Maya Moore.
You weren't here. You weren't here when we first started the pod. The Maya Moore topic's off limits. we established that early because I don't know how I still feel about it. And me, Travis, and John's made a point, but I'm not mad at you for that take. But it was I gotta know. Like, I really want to sit down, but the problem is, if we sit down, I want cameras on, and then I want to spread it, and then know what the problem is? I'm gonna be part of the fucking problem, and now I'm just gonna give a bunch of other people ammo to just start dating fucking psychopaths.
There's a whole pocket of women that love guys in prison. Like, I came across, actually, it's funny you brought this up on Facebook 2 days ago, a prison Facebook page where it's guys that are locked up that are looking for love, and it was nuts to me. It was a whole Facebook page of different inmates.
And let me not like be an asshole. Just because you're in jail doesn't mean you're not changing. Like, I feel like also a bigger issue with the way we look at women who like inmates is that the point of prison is to reform you. But because we don't look at it like that, it's like, oh, you're just dating a criminal. It's not like you're dating someone who's trying to change their life. I feel like if we thought about it in the way that it's supposed to be, like prison's actually supposed to be laid out that way, it wouldn't be as big of a like issue for some men. But it's like, it's just funny when I hear women say things like, oh, you out here dating all these hoes and you can get a good woman anytime. There's so many good women out here. And I'm like, you dating niggas who in county right now, bro. Like, let's not talk about that. It's like the same thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got to understand the psyche of it. But speaking of prison reform, one of the stars, I got one more Golden Globe topic. One of the stars of Abbott Elementary, let me get her name real quick. And if we can find the clip, I'll see if we can pull the clip. Cheryl Lee Ralph, older black lady, she plays one of the teachers on Abbott Elementary, was asked on the red carpet, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have the clip on me. A reporter asked her, what would you tell 15-year-old you right now? She said, don't be embarrassed by your skin. Don't be embarrassed by your hair. Dark-skinned black woman. Don't be embarrassed by X, Y, and Z. And then she said, and there's going to be some girls called the Kardashians, and they're going to pay for all of your physical traits. And I thought, to the Kardashians on that red carpet, when you're giving a 15-year-old you advice, do they deserve that straight shot?
No, the Kardashians get too much hate, bro. I'm straight up. Like, people hate on them way too much. I think the Kardashians are geniuses, actually. For making that much money off of no talent. Let's keep in mind, there's zero talent.
No, hustling is a talent. They hustle.
There's no actual talent in that family.
None. We know how they got money.
They're smart, but I wouldn't say being smart's a talent.
No, it's not.
Okay, so there's no talent in that family. All of them are multi millionaires. Why do the Kardashians get hated on so much? Is it because they don't have talent and they made so much of it?
I don't think that's why black people are mad. Black people have been seeing people with no talent still
I think
forever.
black people are jealous of the Kardashians.
I don't believe that at all. I think black people feel that a lot of normalized things in the black society and culture, the Kardashians have put a spotlight to, and they get credit for it, and I think that's an issue.
Say more about that. What do you think?
I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I believe that the internet like makes it worse than what it is. I don't think a lot of times, and also keep on, we don't know who does press or what. We've been looking to a lot of advertising stuff. You'll be surprised what a good PR person does. Shit that you don't think someone has done, like that ends up on the internet, they have whole teams to make it like sort of like fake outrage. But like one that's like really like a big deal to me is the box braids thing. Female boxers and black women have been wearing box braids forever. Like, and like 3 summers ago, every chick was wearing box braids, and they're out here looking like copy and paste Kardashians. And I feel like there's just tons of other things. I don't really care about the dating the athletes thing. I think if you're concerned about that, like, I'm not going to tell black women what they should be concerned with. That's on them. But if he only wants to date Armenian and white women, he doesn't want to date you regardless. So don't be concerned about that. Yeah. And I'm leaving that alone. Don't talk about black women shit.
I gotta say something. I gotta say something. From the observation, I can have an observation. I think a lot of black women don't like the Kardashians because they date a lot of famous black guys.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen that before. We saw Lionel Richie get ran out the fucking hotel room for his first life.
Kardashians, but anybody that's not black that dates famous black people gets hated on.
Nah, I think it's about how you carry yourself. Like, if I marry a Mexican chick and I just show up to the next party with just a mustache, they're gonna be looking at me like, that's a little fucking weird, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's one thing to embrace culture. It's another thing. You can be culture adjacent. Like, that is completely fine. You're around someone all day. You're going to pick up on things. You know what I mean? You're going to learn to cook things like Steph eats fucking tuna because you did a 6-month bid when you were 12. You know what I mean? You get close to somebody, you start doing certain things. But it's getting credit and acting as if. And then I think that what hurt the Kardashians the most is they never spoke out against what they were getting accused of. And usually I'll say this, speaking out doesn't do shit for the most part, but the lack of acknowledgement of it
to cover yourself.
Yeah. Look, and don't get me wrong, a lot of the people talking shit about the Kardashians, they never got a nigga free from jail, and Kim got like at least 16 of them hoes, maybe not that many, but like, it's like, don't get me,
the way he says it,
bro, but it's the truth though, you know what I mean?
You're right, it's just the way you said it.
But it's like, and I do get the idea of it, like, because I would be mad about that shit too. Like, when you see certain things and certain people like do certain things, and you're just like, that's not you, bro. Like you gotta understand, because at one point it becomes a mockery of what you think black people are. Because it's always funny that when someone wants to act quote unquote black, it's always being hood. It's always being this. No one acts black and acts like Colin Powell. No one acts black and acts like Thurgood Marshall. You know what I mean? But then you want to act black and get face tattoos and run around like the fucking Island Boys. That's what black is to you. So it's like, it's just blackface without the paint. And I think is what a lot of people's issues is like, you're just sitting there you're sitting here profiting off the stereotypes that stop us from getting jobs, from stop us from getting housing, but you're able to monetize it, and you need to explain that to us, because the same thing that gets you money stops us from growing up the social economical ladder. And I think that's what a lot of people have a problem with. Like, they have the audacity to say the straightening comb, like white people found a straightening comb. Bro, the straightening comb is from like the 1930s because they wouldn't make hair products for black women. And now all of a sudden everyone wants to get like perms and stuff and act like it's about it because you got these little mixed race babies and you're acting like you just invented the wheel. No.
I don't know. Do you think the Kardashians get too much hate, or do you think it's justified?
If you're gonna be that famous, you're gonna get hate regardless.
Mm-hmm. But they get like more than anybody.
But they want it though, my guy.
What do you say, Andre?
Okay, so like the one thing that makes me laugh about all the hate is like the same people that are hating so crazy are the same people that are watching their show and are the reason that they have a second show after their show ended at 15 years on E. Now they have a big ass Hulu show. Same people that are buying their Skims products, fucking Kylie makeup bullshit, whatever. Like, you talk all this shit, but like you're buying into their things. So like, why are you talking so much?
I want to agree with that, especially with the black community part, is just because I feel like if anything, we're more force fed them. And I'm like, I don't have, to be honest with you, I don't really have an issue with the Kardashians all that much, because like to each is their own. I do wish that they kind of address a lot of things that they kind of address now to a certain degree, but like we are force fed them. Like there were, like I remember Trav isn't here today, but Trav went to when he went to school in Durango in Colorado, he met a chick and he said something about Kim Kardashian, and she thought that chick was like on campus, like she was a student. She had never heard of her, and Travis was like, "What? Like you never heard of her?" Think about but
that's under a rock.
What?
You know, she lived under a rock, or
I think she grew up on the res. Okay. So like, but my thing is like, that's how crazy that is. Like, I know people who don't know actors well. I know people, but like Kim Kardashian, to your point, has no talent, and we were stunned that no one knew who she was. Mm-hmm. And I think that itself feeds into the force fed thing, because there's people with tons of talent doing tons of good things out here, and we have no clue who they are.
I think it just circles back to the jealousy point, dude. Like they've just done so much with nothing. Like they are the most amazing people on the face of this earth.
I will say this: I think you can hate without being jealous. I hate a lot of shit I'm not jealous of. Just because you're doing better than me doesn't mean I just can't hate you because of who you are.
Are they bad people?
I don't know. Like, I'll say this: I can't say they're good people because I don't know them.
I don't know them, but I can also say they're not like outlandishly bad people. Because they would have gotten way more trouble by now. They're in a spotlight every second of the day.
They also manipulate the spotlight every second of the day. Because here's the thing,
but it goes back to being really smart.
We can't say they're good or bad because they control what we see. Like I've never seen anyone control the media the way the Kardashians do. Yeah, what we see that they do that's bad, they let us see that. They get a few fuck ups here and there, but like at the same time, it's, I said we weren't going to do it till February, but fuck it, we're here now. No one man should have all this power. You know what I mean?
They're really good at spinning the narrative.
And that's the thing is like, are you good if you're manipulative? Because if regular people were as manipulative as they are, we would call them toxic. And that's just the truth. Like, if anybody had a grip on anybody, like if a woman treated one of us like a Kardashian treats like the media, you would tell your boy to not date her. You would probably stop talking to your friend. I'm assuming. Like, you know what I mean? No man would like, that's crazy. Like, all right. And kick off top fives. We just closed out, we talked to requests about the 2020s or about 2020. And it got me to thinking, what were the best artist combo of the 2010s?
That's such a good question, bro.
So for honorable mention, this honorable mention is a little crazy, but
that's what you do though.
Yeah, honorable mention. I have a four piece. Any of these four people put together as a duo was fire in the 2010s. YG, Ty Dolla, Dom K, Nipsey Hussle. Any combination of that, bitch you broke, anything that had to do with that, tooted or booted, anything along that nature, stupid gas. In no particular order. We're going to go number 5, J. Cole and Miguel. I'm gonna throw this one out there. Fire tracks. We already know. Unspoken. Like, it is what it is. Miguel had the ladies. J. Cole had the backpackers. It's a very rare time that combination and both those hairstyles work together, and it was immaculate. I guess number 2, Drake and Rick Ross. Countless bangers. Made Men.
Yes, sir.
Aston Martin music. You name it, they got it. We all saw it on tour. It was great. Number 3 is a sleeper. I tweeted this week because the bar I work at was playing this, and this combo had the summer in a chokehold. Kid Ink and Chris Brown were fucking outside, boys and girls. You remind me of something. Dude, that shit was fire. They had like at least 3 or 4 of them, dude. Stupid heat. 1 and 2 is up to discretion, whichever one you choose to want to do. I have number 2 because the album is gas. Jay-Z and Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Everything, it was necessary. There's No Church in the Wild is one of my favorite songs of all time. That shit is, what is a king to a god? What is a god to a non-believer? And number 1, much like the honorable mention, is a mindfuck, but it is what it is. Lil Wayne featuring anybody.
Thank you.
Carrie Hilson, Kanye West, Lil Zoe, anybody. If there was a remix to be had in 2010 to 2020, Lil Wayne was on it. The Carter 4 sold 900,000 copies in 1 week. That is coming off the Carter 3, which was earlier, having sold 1 million copies in a week after the album initially leaked, and he put out a whole different album. The 15-year run from 05 to 2020 is one of the most immaculate things in music history, and I don't think we give it enough respect.
I couldn't agree more. Very good list, by the way. Thank you. All right, you want me to go?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go top 5 most addictive foods, okay? All right, we're going to start with number 5, calamari. If there's ever calamari on the table, I just want it all for myself. I know you're supposed to share the calamari. I'm not good at it, bro. I just want all the calamari for myself. And I honestly would wish like it was acceptable to order calamari, not as an appetizer, just for you. Number 4, getting a little specific here, okay? Jimmy Dean croissants. Jimmy Dean croissants. I could eat 1,000. They're good, right? I could eat 1,000 Jimmy Dean croissants. They're so freaking bad for you that you'd be like have diabetes in 2 weeks if you ate like a bunch.
So much sodium.
But they're amazing. I love Jimmy Dean croissants. All right, number 3. If I ever go to any party and there's nachos, if there's nachos at any party with that little plastic or paper bowl. Dude, I'm doing at least 4 bowls of that. If I'm at a restaurant, they have the appetizer for nachos. I'm eating all that as well. All right, number 2, M&Ms. I can't get enough M&Ms. I don't buy them because if they're in the house, I'm gonna eat the whole bag. If I go to anybody's house and they're on the table, I'm eating the whole bowl. I love M&Ms, peanut butter M&Ms, regular M&Ms. They're all fire. All right, then number 1, CTC. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I can eat the whole box at a time. By far the best cereal. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like crack. I never done crack, but whatever crack is, that's what Cinnamon Toast Crunch is most like. So
I thought your number 1 was going to be tacos.
No, that's a good one though. I love tacos. I love it. I love hot dogs.
I need Steph, before we leave, I need you to have a top 5 list of things you thought you knew about Josh that you were wrong about.
Oh, please, yeah.
I think that would be a great list because I feel like, you get older, you start realizing your friends, like 2 summers ago, we started doing this. Josh is not who I thought he is.
That I thought, wait, what was the question?
Like things you thought about Josh or you assumed was like, oh, Josh is like this, or Josh, and then you're like, oh, he does that. Like that's like good or bad. They can be good or bad. You can be like, oh, Josh is more caring than I thought, or Josh does that weird throat thing. I didn't know that was gonna keep happening. Can you not do that in the man? I hate that.
Yeah, I think we all do.
That's fair.
Damn. Every day you try out for her love, you just move down the depth chart just a little bit, right?
Move down to for sure.
All right, so for my top 5, I'm doing my top 5 favorite like food dishes that I love.
Ooh, I like that.
So number 5 for me is pho.
Yes.
Pho is a fucking sleeper, way better than ramen. I like ramen too, but I think pho is just way better than ramen. The noodles are better. There's a lot more that you can eat. So pho is definitely the way to go. You put some sriracha in there. You put some chili paste. It's a fucking...
Talk dirty to me.
Number 4 is pad thai. Pad thai is honestly a sleeper. Like, I just love like noodles, but like those noodles with the chicken and then the sauce that they use, the peanut sauce or whatever it is, with the peanuts crumbles on top. Fuck, I'm gonna get some pad thai after this, low key. But that's just like one of the best Asian dishes, like of any, like, you know, Japanese, Thai, Chinese, anything.
Oh, you're 2 for 2.
Number 3 for me is like pizza, like single pizza slices, like Bronx Pizza, Landini's. For me, like a little late night thing, you go to Landini's, get a couple slices and a soda real quick. You know, barbecue chicken pizza there is wild. One of the best pizza slices you can get in San Diego. And then it's ricotta with mushroom and like spinach. Fucking stupid gas. Stupid gas. Number 2 for me is like subs, like sandwich subs. Like, you're feeling lazy, you head over to Jersey Mike's one day, you get a little fucking the club sub Mike's way. Stupid gas. And number 1 for me is tacos.
He can't miss. He can't miss.
Tacos. You can Tacos LG. Tacos LG is a little overrated, but it does slap. It's fire. Tacos Revolution slaps. Tacos El Poblano, stupid gas.
Okay, wait. Top 5 favorite taco shops in San Diego.
Right now?
Yeah.
Taqueros or taco shops? You name taqueros.
It's taco shops. Shops. Number 5, Las Cuatro Milpas, which is right there in Barrio. It's like over there. Number 4 is Salud, which is also in Barrio. Super gas. 3, Tacos Revolution, especially the one on Bonita Road. It's better than the one in Otay.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
Number 2, Tacos LG. I'd say it's a little overrated, but the Campechana fries like put it on the fucking map.
I think it's super good, just overpriced.
It is overpriced, but like everything's overpriced nowadays.
Yeah.
So. And then for me, the best taco shop here is El Poblano, right there by Costco.
I like it too. People hate on it, though.
They're fucking stupid.
I'm not gonna lie. It was mid for a long time.
Do you like it now?
But if I'm
Like when we were in high school, it was mid.
You're from that area. Do people go there a lot?
That's like my dad's favorite
love
taco
it.
shop.
That's
He's
where we
an
go.
OG, so.
But yeah, he was there like when it first opened,
Yeah.
and it used to be like $30 for like the big
platter.
Yeah. Now it's like 60.
Yeah,
Like,
everything's expensive.
pushing 70.
Now, if I'm feeling real risky, like if I'm like real fucking hungry, I'm just crossing my ass over the border and going to Taconazo, Tacos El Frank, and then even the El Poblano in Otay, like in the Otay side of TJ. Stupid gas. I'm fucking hungry, bro.
I know. I'm like, tacos sound so good.
All right, I got this will be for the extra.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Go for it.
All right, top 5 MTV films of our lifetime, boys and girls.
Ooh, that's
Yes, this is a good one.
Honorable mention: Napoleon Dynamite. A coming of age story. Shout out to the Latter-day Saints, my man John Heater. Some of the greatest quotables of all time. Tina, you fat lard. I can throw this over this mountain. If coach would have put me in the state game, I was hot, so I shaved my head. Like, some of the greatest quotes of all fucking time. This one might be for my people. I don't think anyone in this garage has had. The Wood, a coming of age tale. You move from out of the area, you move into Inglewood in the, believe the 80s, and it's one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest movies. I think Taye Diggs is in it, if I'm not mistaken. I'm forgetting. I think it's Taye Diggs, Morris Chestnut. I could be wrong. Black people don't kill me. My number 5, and this one is in order. Save the Last Dance. I hate white savior movies. I hate when white people come to the hood and they fucking save everybody. This time, white girl needs the black dude from Barbershop to get her into Juilliard. I like to believe that their child grew up to be Derek Jeter. Also, fire cast. Donald Faison, Kerry Washington, Julia Stiles, fire cast. Number 4, gonna contradict myself. White savior movie.
Oh.
Freedom Riders.
Yes.
Stupid gas. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Mario, Hilary Swank, the nigga who plays McDreamy or whatever on what's the House? No, not House. The Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
that guy.
Derek Shepard. That's the doctor name.
Yeah, I think that's who he is. I think that's who's in it.
Patrick Dempsey.
Dempsey. There we go. Yes. Some of the best here. Matthew McConaughey before Matthew McConaughey. Number 3. The original Kings of Comedy. A lot of people don't know that this is an MTV film. It is an MTV film. Some of the greatest jokes of all time. When I heard Cedric the Entertainer say, "Why do we all turn down our music to Parallel Park?" I lost my mind. I didn't even have a license when I heard this joke. I was like 7 years old, and I knew it was funny. It was some of the greatest things of all time. D.L. Hughley talking about hitting his little nephew because he thinks he's gay, which was fucking hilarious. You can cancel me, but the way he described it was hilarious. Steve Harvey finding out that people cuss in church, which is still one of the greatest jokes of all all time to me. Yeah, the original Kings of Comedy, fucking gold. Number 2, my number 1, but what I have for number 1 is undeniably the number 1 MTV film of all time, even though it's not my preference. Number 2, though, what is your greatest fear? Samuel L. Jackson, Channing Tatum, Robert Richard, everybody is what do you call it? Octavia Spencer, and it is Coach Carter. Coach Carter is the greatest sports movie of all time.
Stupid gas.
Fight me if you want. I don't care. And number 1, the greatest MTV film of all time, Started Revolution. We talked about things being overly saturated, things that crush society, that brought things to spotlights that it shouldn't have, and just turned this world upside down. And this is one of those things, boys and girls. Jackass the movie. Jackass the movie. One of the wildest things of all time. I wanted to fight it, but when I looked at the list of things I could put on here, nothing had a cultural impact like Jackass the movie. You don't get ridiculousness without Jackass the movie. You don't get Jackass the show without Jackass the movie. All these are all spawns off this. And also one day we're going to talk about how MTV just juiced skateboarding for everything it fucking had. But yeah, Jackass movie is literally one of the greatest pieces of debauchery I've ever seen in my life. Like you couldn't have wrote a better movie. It could only be filmed in the manner in which it was filmed. And that is my top 5 MTV films.
Who had the most fire top 5 today? Who would you give the crown to? I'm going to go with Andre's top 5 foods.
I don't think there's a miss on there.
Yeah, I think you went 5 for 5 on that. You killed that.
Stupid gas.
Congratulations. Your prize is nothing. Like,
Josh just took a top 5s. He just took top 5s and just mixed them in with things we already knew about him.
Yes.
He has told, how many times has Josh brought up M&Ms in the past 2 years?
Twice today, at least. Yeah.
Twice today, yeah.
And yesterday. I think he brought it up yesterday,
It's like
too.
my conversation starter with random people.
Yeah.
Do you like
Favorite-
M&Ms?
Imagine Josh is walking up to you at a bar. I fucking hate the green M&M. That's just how he starts it.
The most useless M&M.
Yeah, all right. With that being said, I think we're gonna get out of here. I'm Fat Face Fabio. This is Big Tom Marindo. Young Pizza Babel, and Jackie Kennedy is with us. We're all out. Bye.